17th chapter, starting with verse number 1. And you'll see these words are something very similar. I'm reading from the Good News translation. It says, 6 days later, Jesus took with him Peter and the brothers James and John and led them up a high mountain where they were alone. As they looked on, a change came over Jesus. His face was shining like the sun, and his clothes were dazzling white. Then the 3 disciples saw Moses and Elijah talking with Jesus. So Peter spoke up and said to Jesus, Lord, how good it is that we are here. If you wish, I will make 3 tents here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. Verse 5. While he was talking, a shining cloud came over them, and a voice from the cloud said, This is my own dear son, with whom I am pleased. Listen to him. When the disciples heard the voice, they were so terrified that they threw themselves face downward on the ground. Jesus came to them and touched them. Get up, he said. Don't be afraid. So they looked up and saw no one there but Jesus. As they came down the mountain, Jesus ordered them, Don't tell anyone about this vision you have seen until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead. Then the disciples asked Jesus, Why do the teachers of the law say that Elijah has to come first? Elijah is indeed coming first, answered Jesus, and he will get everything ready. But I tell you that Elijah has already come, and people didn't recognize him, but treated him just as they pleased. In the same way, they will also mistreat the Son of Man. Then the disciples understood that he was talking to them about John the Baptist. Amen.
Amen.
I want to preach from the subject this morning. Make it last forever. Make it last forever. Make it last forever. If you've ever had what's considered a mountaintop experience, you have the tendency to want to stay right there. Not only do you have the tendency to want to stay right there, but you don't want it to ever end. You want to make it last forever and stay on that mountaintop as long as possible. That I came up with, well, I didn't come up with it. Most of y'all already know where it come from anyway. Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat was talking about making it last forever. Now Keith Sweat might have been talking about something a little different. You know, and I started looking at it. You know, at first I was just thinking, I said, you know, I know what he meant, and I know what he's saying. You know, and some of y'all, Shanta might not know, but it says stuff like, make it last forever. Don't let our love end. Let's make it last forever and ever and ever. Don't let our love end. Let me hear you tell me you love me. Let me hear you say you never leave me. Old girl that would make me feel so right. Let me hear you tell me you want me. Let me hear you say you'll never leave me until the morning light. But Keith Sweat, when I think about him and some of the words that he put into his song, he was trying to have a feeling that he didn't want to ever end. And I understand having a good time, being with people, going somewhere. Have you ever gone out with some friends and it seemed like the time just went by so fast? And you are sad that it had to come to an end because, you know, the time just went by so fast. So in our text, we see here that Jesus take Peter, John, and James on a mountain climbing trip. And on a mountain climbing trip, I don't know what they had with them when they went up there, but usually when you climb in the mountain, you're going to have on some special type of shoes. You have on special outfits, some mountain climbing gear, and you probably have at least some water with you. You might have a flashlight, you might have a rope, but the Bible, one thing I like about what it says in the text, it don't give you all those details about climbing mountains. That's maybe what we need. But when you with Jesus climbing the mountain, the only thing you need is Jesus.
That's it. That's it.
Jesus was all they needed as they climbed the mountain. And you know, climbing the mountain in itself is an experience. You know, I keep telling myself, it's a shame. I've been in Atlanta all my life and has never climbed Stone Mountain. Has never climbed Stone Mountain. I remember going up the Stone Mountain on the what's called the sky lift years and years ago when I was a little kid, but I have never climb Stone Mountain. What is the fascination about climbing a mountain?
Yeah.
What is it? You know, do you climb it just to say you made it to the top? Or do you want to be at the top and just look over? But when I started thinking about the purpose that Jesus took these 3 guys up a mountain. But what was so interesting, after they got to the mountain, what happened? In our text, it tells us that Jesus transfigured before them. That word transfigured. You know, I find myself fascinated about the Bible using all these words that a lot of us don't really care to use or don't understand or don't even want to understand. But transfigured basically just means he changed form. Yeah. He changed what he looked like. Yeah. And the Bible says that he turned white. Some say he turned white as snow. Now, I don't know about you, but I have problems going somewhere with somebody and then they change up on me. Yeah. You know, it could be changing up for the good, but you know how people get all brand new sometime on you when you go somewhere with them and then all of a sudden they change up? Yeah. Once when I was at Liberty, I had a friend, Michael, I can't even think of his last name now. He was so nice. He invited me to him and his wife's house for dinner. You know, he knew I was from Atlanta and out of town. And he said, I want to invite you to a home-cooked meal. And I said, okay, you know, I felt kind of funny because, you know, when I was at Liberty, I was the only African-American up there in my class now. He stayed up in the mountain. There's no phone reception up there where he stayed at. And, you know, and we were just going around the mountain, going around. I let Tisa know before I left. I said, okay, I'm going up in the mountain with you. So in case, you know, but we just kept going up and up and up and up. And he was just taking us up to this high place. And then finally we got to the top. Their home was up there. And I said, who in the world live up here? I said, so this is what they call mountain folks, huh? You know? But they actually lived up in the mountain. And when we got up there, you know, he didn't change. I thank God he didn't change on me, nothing like that. He was very nice. Him and his wife made, that was the first time I ever had what was called taco salad. But they made taco salad for me for dinner. But they were just so nice. But just being up in the mountain, I saw things differently. I looked down and I said, whew. Well, you know, let me hurry and get back to Atlanta. You know, I'm a city boy. I ain't used to all this stuff up here. So, you know, just being up in the mountain has its own thing that kind of gives you anxiety. So I can imagine Jesus, after he had taken Peter, James, and John up to the mountain, when he changed on them, what it caused Peter and them to feel. The Bible says he changed and he turned white. And then all of a sudden, people appeared. People appeared. People who were supposed to be dead. You know, I never really watched the movie Sixth Sense like some of you all have, and I probably need to. But, you know, that was the movie that came out with the phrase, I see dead people. You know, can you imagine Peter and them? We see dead people. And, you know, we already know they were scary people. Because we know how scared, they thought he was a ghost already when he walked on the water to them. So we know they're used to seeing ghosts, being afraid of ghosts. So here it is, all of a sudden, Jesus changed on them. And then some dead people appear before them. And then they start talking. Who want that to last forever? You're away from your family and friends. You're with Jesus. You know, Jesus told you to follow him. And, you know, I know that following Jesus comes with its own set of rules and own set of bylaws. But, you know, you never know what Jesus is going to lead you when he say, follow me. Come go with me. Have you ever had a friend that say, hey, come go with me, and you didn't know where y'all going? And you was wondering, hoping y'all was going somewhere that was going to be safe and you weren't going to be in trouble? Do you have friends or do you know people that you are uncertain if you go there and they would just say, hey, come go with me for a minute? Without asking them questions? Where we going? Who we going to see? How long we going to be there? What we going to do when we get there? Because, you know, just saying, come and go with me, and people follow you, that's a person with a lot of power. A lot of authority. I have some friends that I would not just jump in a car with them. You know, not that they're bad people, but sometimes trouble seems to find them. And sometimes trouble has a way of knowing where they're going. And sometimes if you're with them, you can be an innocent bystander and find yourself in trouble. So when someone says, just come and follow me or come go with me, you have to be kind of careful. But when Peter, James, and John decided to follow Jesus, I'm pretty sure they was expecting something, even though they didn't know what it might be. So to see him change form to be white. Now this white, you know, I started thinking about things that make things white. And bleach came to mind. Clorox. I can imagine Jesus being whiter than any white that Clorox can get you. There's certain brands of paint. You know, I don't even know. There's this church over in Southwest Atlanta on Avon called Cathedral of Faith. This church had the purest, the shiniest, the brightest coat of white paint I've ever seen before in my life on a church building. And every time Tisa and I talk about white paint, we always say, we're talking about Cathedral of Faith paint. Yeah. Because that's their white paint. And I can imagine Jesus being whiter than that. So here we have Jesus changed form. Two dead men, Elijah and Moses, appear and start talking to him. And then they disappear. And God speaks. God speaks and says, this is my beloved son who I'm very well pleased in. I'm not scary, but I'm scary. You know, I'm not the type of person when I hear a noise, I just go walking up to it and trying to see what it is. You know, I'm trying to see from a distance. Because, you know, I'm not the type when I hear a sound and let me go and see what that is. You know, I'm like, what's that? You know, I might want to shine a light over there or something so I can see it first. But here it is. Things happened before them. And then all of a sudden when God spoke, Peter has a tendency of speaking things without thinking about it sometimes. Peter said, let's just stay here. I'll make a tabernacle for you, Moses, and Elijah. And we'll just stay here forever. It's something about when you experience a God encounter, you don't want to ever let it end. I remember growing up in the church. It was interesting sharing with Felicia the other night when we was telling her how I grew up in the church. I've been in the church all my life, you know. And you know, sometimes I feel so funny because I said the experience I got jaded me. Because you know, when you're in the church all the time, especially traditional type church I grew up in, you have certain mindsets that you think this is how everything's supposed to be. So anyway, but in our church, what we used to have going on was the spirit would get high and mighty. And you know, and the people get caught up in the spirit and we're having a good time and everything. And people, they never want church to end because of the great experience they had. God came in. And back then, when we grew up in the church, you just get to shouting. Everybody remember people shouting in the church? People just get to shouting and falling out and fainting. And you know, you ask your adult family members, what's going on? Oh, they're in the spirit and they all got caught up and they're shouting and they praising God. And people didn't want church to end. And realizing what it's like to have an experience that you want to last forever. You know, I remember when I first started preaching. When I first started preaching, you know, in most churches, they have what's called the song of preparation. That's the song that they play before the preacher get ready to come up and start preaching. So on this particular Sunday to preach, and Paul was singing this song, He Is Preparing Me, that was originally recorded by Darryl L. And when he was singing this song, Paul's song, so good, and He Is Preparing Me was one of my favorite songs. I didn't even know they were singing that song then. They were playing He's Preparing Me during my song of preparation. But while Paul was singing and the choir was singing and everybody was getting into the spirit, I was saying, make this song last forever. Not because I was in the spirit at the time, or so caught up at the time, but I was nervous as all get up. Because I said, boy, when this song ends, it's time for me to get up and start preaching. And this is my first sermon ever. And all these people here to listen to me and hear me preach. I got family and friends and enemies and frenemies here and everybody there to hear me preach. And I'm like, boy, keep on singing, Paul. Keep on singing. Make it last, brother. Make it last. Keep on. I didn't want that song to end because when that song ended, I meant it's time. I knew that meant it was time for me to get up. You talking about somebody who was nervous and everything, and I wanted the song to just keep on going and keep on going. But there are many of us who have experiences that we don't want to end. Why is it that some of our greatest experiences last for a few minutes? Some of our greatest experience only last for a few minutes. And when you think about how we do things, we prepare for stuff for a long time and for it only to last a short time. Anybody remember graduations? Some of us go to school 12 long years. Somebody said 12 long years. 12 long years. And then they try to rush you across the stage when it's time to graduate. Calling your name real fast. Your parents can't. They tell your parents and your friends don't clap, say all your applause. How you gonna rush me in? Do you know I had to pay senior fees, senior dues, junior fees, junior dues, and I had to come to Saturday schools and all this stuff, and you gonna rush me across the stage? Make it last forever.
Yes.
You know, I think about all these things that we do, and then people want to rush you through it. You know, I'm finna take my time. You know, you be standing on the line for a long time to get something, and then they want to rush. No. I'm gonna take my time. You know, you ever go through a cafeteria line and you stand in line a long time, or go to a restaurant and you stand in line a long time, and then they try to rush you out, the waitress come and they take your order and all that. Okay, no rush, but, and then they slide you. Sound like you rushing me. You weren't rushing to sit me. You weren't rushing to get my table. You know, you had me waiting 45 minutes with the reservation. But now, that reminds me of a concert that they said Patti LaBelle did one time. People paid hundreds of some dollars for a ticket, and she only performed for like 3 minutes. Can you imagine them spend all this money on tickets to see her? I wish Earth, Wind, and Fire would try to shortchange them. And they gotta sing every song I came to hear them sing. You know, we gonna make this thing last all night. I don't spend $100 some on these tickets. So when you start thinking about the things that you invest in, you think about the things that you put your time in. You ain't trying to rush it to a conclusion. On the flip side of it, you have Peter, James, and John. They were so caught up in the spirit of what God had did, and God confirmed for them who Jesus was. Ain't nothing like confirmation. God confirmed for them, not that God had to, not that Jesus even asked to. You know, did Jesus know when he was taking them up there? I got something for them. I'm going to blow their mind. They don't even know what they're getting ready to get. You know, I wonder what it was like for Jesus as they was climbing the mountain, and he already knew what was going to happen, because they say he know everything anyway. He already knew what was going to happen. Now they said, boy, they ain't going to know what's going to hit them when they get up here and see God speak to me and see the dead Elijah and the dead Moses come and appear for them. But once it happened, they were so excited, they didn't want to leave. Church people are just like that today. They come to church and we get so excited and praise and worship and having a good time. We don't want to go back home. We don't want to go and cook down after church. We don't want to go and get ready for work on Monday. We don't want to go and talk to the husband. We don't want to go and talk to the wife. We don't want to go and have to deal with this one kid. We want to just stay in church all day long. We want church to make it last forever.
All right.
But how many of you know there's work to do? And you ain't got time to be in church all day making it last forever. That's the reason I like the hours of power. We come in, we start on time, we get out on time, because we got to go out and do some work. So what Jesus told Peter, James, and John was, we got to go. They didn't want to go. They want to stay there. They were so willing to, let's just build everything right here that we never have to leave. And you know, I think Peter was trying to really suck Jesus up. I think he was just trying to suck him up. I'll build a tabernacle for you, Jesus. You know, you don't have to go nowhere. We're going to stay right here. What about all the hungry people that they left? What about all the poor people that they would take care of? You mean tell me you going to take Jesus away from them? I didn't care about them. But God has plans for all of us. And God has work for all of us. And we can't just stay in one place forever and think that's the end of it. Some of us get stuck in our purpose because we think this is my dream job and now I have it, I ain't never leaving it. But suppose God has another job for you. This is my dream home. I've always dreamed of a home like this, and I never move. Suppose God has something else for you. This is, you know, some of us, we get things that we feel if we ever get it, that's it. I'll never want anything else again. God will always show you that there's more to what you see.
Thank you, God.
Peter thought they had seen the ultimate. They thought they had seen the very best that Jesus had to offer. And then Jesus had to tell them, I'm getting ready to die soon. I'm getting ready to leave y'all. You know, not only can you not build a tabernacle for us, they already did. I'm getting ready to join them, but what I'm going to do, you talking about building a temple and a tabernacle here for me, Moses, and Elijah. I'm going to go and build a kingdom for all of y'all. All of my fathers. I'm going to go and build a kingdom that you can't, what you trying to build can't touch. I'm going to build a kingdom not made with man's hand. I'm going to build a kingdom, they said the streets going to be paved with gold. And you're going to see jasper and silver and all the fine stuff there. That's like Jesus said, y'all talking about y'all trying to build something for me. I'm going to be building. I'm building something for you all. But we got to go back first. So I could imagine what it was like here it is. They thought they had the very best right then.
Right.
And Jesus told them, I got something better for you right now. So you think right now you living a good life.
Yeah.
You think right now that God done already showed out for you in your life.
Yes.
God done bless you with family and friends who love you. God done bless you with a good career. God done bless you with homes and fine jewelry and clothes and all these things that you think are good. But this ain't nothing. You ain't seen, like the old people said, you ain't seen nothing yet.
That's it.
You ain't seen
All
nothing
right.
yet. Wait till you get to the house. You know, people come, oh, y'all have a beautiful house. Oh, this? Thank you. But you ain't seen that yet. Wait till you see me when I get to heaven. Wait till you see the mansion I'm going to be living in then. Wait till you see the street I live on then. When you drive down my boulevard to heaven, you go, oh, goodness gracious, look at that. Wait till you see your house. Wait till you see the mansion Jesus built for you. Make it last forever. That's what's going to last forever.
Yeah.
Not this right here.
Yeah.
We got work to do.
Yes.
We got to go out and show other people where we moving to. You know, have you ever seen people when they get ready to move somewhere, they want everybody to know? There used to be a time we used to ride people about the house that we were going to move into.
Yeah.
Now, we send them the link from realtors.com. This is the house I'm getting ready to buy right here. I want y'all to look at it. Go and check it out. Tell me what you think. That's the way we should be telling people about heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we should tell people about heaven. You know, well, y'all should see the house Jesus building for me in heaven. He told me all that I have to do is get my stuff in order.
Yeah.
You know, see down here you have to get money in the bank saved. You have to make sure your credit is good. You have to make sure you have references. The only thing you need in heaven to get that mansion up there is to have your stuff together.
Yeah.
Accept Jesus. Believe on him, confess him, love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. Love your neighbor as yourself, and you too can get that mansion in the sky without an 850 credit score, without $10,000 in the bank, without getting somebody to co-sign for you. Anybody want to make that last forever? That's what I want to last forever. I want my eternity to last forever, while I'm going to be shouting and having a good time, and I know it ain't going to end. That's what I'm looking for. I want the good life after life. This is good right here, but I know that's something better, and I'm preparing today for that tomorrow.
Thank you, God.
So just like Peter, just like James, just like John, I want it to last forever, but not this.
Yes.
Not this. This ain't gonna last forever. The Bible tells us this ain't gonna last forever. But what's gonna last forever is that kingdom that Jesus is preparing for you. He is preparing you. He is preparing me. He is preparing us. Get your house in order. Get your business done.
Order,
And just watch. And just watch when you get there. You're not going to even remember this. When you get there, you're going to forget about all the heartaches. You're going to forget about all the pain. You're going to forget about all the things that you had to endure. Because the Bible tells us, yes, weeping may endure for a night. But joy comes in the morning time.
Thank you, God.
Joy comes in the morning time. I want us all to be just like Tisa. Choose joy. Choose joy. I choose joy.
Thank you, God.
I choose joy. Let us choose joy so we might be better on purpose. Let's pray.